Hi. Are you sick and tired of paying hundreds of dollars a month for cable or dish? GNR TV is your answer. These guys have an incredible 100% legal product that is a cord cutter's dream. For as low as $25 a month, you will get over 400 HD channels, including all major sports packages, pay-per-views, premium movies, and entertainment. To get started, all you need is a streaming device, such as an Amazon Fire Stick, internet, and a desire to save a ton of cash. No contracts, no credit checks, no hidden fees. I myself have been a subscriber, and I must say this service is amazing. To learn more, search GNR TV on Facebook or Instagram, and I will also be posting a link on my pages to check out on my podcast website. Lastly, for first-time subscribers, use promo code SIRS30 to save $5 for your first month. GNR TV, streaming done right.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, just Jason's mask.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today I have the lovely Bella with me. We're about to review the movie Milo, her choice. Fun movie, good movie. And I can see why it scares little girls after the first watch.
Scared the shit out of me.
It was... I don't even know how this movie never came across my radar. But I definitely want to watch this one again. I have it playing in the background right now on mute, just so I can see certain scenes again.
Get some recaps. It's definitely something that I don't know why it affected me so much. The first time I watched this film, like I said, I was in 3rd or 4th grade. I seen it on the Lifetime network. I swear to you, with my mom, and it never left me. It got to a point where I actually was going to school, and I had kids convinced that they could see Milo, that they were seeing him.
That's crazy. That's like crazy and cool at the same time.
It was like, I don't know what it was about it. I don't know if it was the voice. I don't know. I mean, and now I look back and I can kind of laugh at it. I mean, he's a little corny, but as a little girl, I mean, I really thought there was a boy that was going to be stalking us at the playground, and he was going to invite us back to show us little dead babies in jars, and it just the whole abortion, and it never left me. It never left me. To this day, I kind of squirmed a little when I rewatched it because, I knew parts were coming, but I still, yeah.
It was fun. And the funny thing was, like, I was searching for the movie earlier today, and I looked on YouTube. It was on YouTube, and it was in Spanish. And I was like, I understand bits and pieces of Spanish.
Subtitles, yes.
It was just in Spanish. There was no English subtitles at all. And I'm like, I know bits and pieces of Spanish, but I'm not going to pick this up. I was like, I'll watch it if I have to, because I could watch it and visualize what's going on, but I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Oh, gotta send you the link then. No, because the one I watched, it's English speaking, but it has the Spanish subtitles, and I couldn't take them off. But I'm Latina, so it worked out. It worked out.
I lucked out and found one in English, so I was good, because I think my wife, she's Spanish. She would have been mad if I had her translate the whole movie. She wouldn't have did it for me. She would just yelled at me. Like, okay, so what did they say now? What's going on?
It wouldn't have even translated right. It would have been so wonky. It would have been hysterical probably.
Yep, and confusing. So I'm glad I found it in English.
Yeah. Did you notice Mila Kunis? I believe this was her first actual role.
I seen that in the when I was looking online, I was reading about the movie. I seen her name was in the movie, and I missed seeing her face in the movie. Like, I did not see her at all.
She has the most speaking part out of all the students.
Okay, in the class. Okay, so she's in the class when
Yes.
She's okay. I'll have to look out for her now.
Yeah, I mean, she has the most speaking lines, but I think this was her first, like, coming out kind of role, which is kind of cool, because looking back, she wasn't big when I first watched this, and you know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy to see that whole kind of transformation. I'm trying to think of like some of the scenes that get me the most. Is there anything like I'm curious to know if like from what I took away from the film is very much different from how I've seen other people make reviews about Milo.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that, you know, they think, I don't think they understand that he was never meant to survive. He was a mutant, stillborn, that the father put in like a fish tank and like incubated him to live. But he was never meant to live, so he was already like a monster.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he starts killing, and then he drowns, but the father injects him and brings him back, and he turns even more, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but a lot of people don't even, like, understand that about this, so I don't know if people see why it is such a different type of scary movie overall from, you know, like what we're used to nowadays. It's very much different.
It really is, and like I didn't even get that until the father was talking about it towards the end of the movie, where he's talking about how his wife was always having stillbirths, and he pretty much created his son. And then I was like, okay, now this makes sense of why this is all going on.
To be honest, I don't even know if that was his girl. I think like it was a woman who was coming to him as a gynecologist who needed to have an abortion. And he just took ownership of her fetus.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was actually any actual relationship. And, like, I mean, I know he considers Milo his son, but basically, I mean, he's just like a Frankenstein baby. Like, he was not meant to really be here. But it skeeves me. I'm, like, so skeeved by the whole concept. Then, you know, how everyone's considering him that, you know, Milo's gone. He's not killing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all her girlfriends, like, strung up in the basement in bridal gowns.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's pulling out their insides and stuff, and he's putting them in glass jars, and I'm just like, whoa, and he can't die. I mean, he keeps coming back. You see what he did to the janitor?
At the end, yeah.
My dude came back to try to help her, and, like, Milo just kept getting him with the scalpel, and that's another thing. I mean, what an awesome murder weapon.
Yeah. It's easy to hide, and
I'm telling you, Milo might be Puerto Rican the way he was just attacking.
I was gonna say that because he was real handy with that blade. Surprised he didn't have one up here in his cheek. But it was, I was real amazed by this movie, like just because of what you were telling me from what others thought. I'm like, okay, is this movie gonna be that good? And I'm watching it. I'm like, what? I don't see what the complaint is with this movie.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I know mine, it's more of a personal story. It's something that, like, it really bothered me as a kid. It was very hard to get out of my head. You know, I had grown up loving horror films. My first horror film was at 3 years old. I was telling you it was The Leprechaun. After that, by 6, I had already worked up to The Exorcist. So scary movies have been in me my whole life. I've always really liked to be scared, as weird as that is. But this was one movie I never could shake. It was one movie that, till this day, I get a little, like,
yeah.
You'll say the name. If someone tells me, you know, Milo, my son, or my dog, I'm like, oh, nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome, though. Like, it brings you back to that moment.
Oh,
this movie was very powerful for you. That would be an awesome cosplay, by the way. And
right?
A lot of people... The funny thing is, though, if you didn't, like, say if you didn't doctor up the makeup well, if you just did the yellow coat, everybody would expect Georgie.
Oh, right, exactly.
Like,
no, but honestly... Now that you said that, I don't even know if I could ever, like, manage that. I mean, acting, I love to do it, but, like, to actually put myself in that, blow my face out, maybe I should. Maybe I should challenge myself. Maybe one of these new scare cons, I should, like...
I think you should.
That'd be pretty dope. And, I mean, he had crazy strength. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his father was, like, injecting him with. It was obviously these preservatives, but I feel like it made, like the strength of, like, 7 men. I mean, he was running through walls.
Yeah. And when he was when she was in the attic and he was beating on the door, putting holes in the door, I'm like, I can't do that. What the hell? What's he feeding this kid? What's he injecting him with?
That's the funny part, too, is when he's smacking his head, he's like, Claire! And he's trying to get in, and then he, like, gets disoriented and he falls down the stairs.
Yep.
I chuckled now. At 27, I finally chuckled.
That's still funny.
At 7 years old, I wasn't smiling. I was scared. I was like, he's coming back. He's not done yet. And, yeah, it's like he never ends. And even at the end,
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Is he still around? Who wrote Milo Was Here? Is that children just trying to play a game? That's the whole thing about Milo, is I don't really know what happens in the end. It's like a cliffhanger. You're like, what the hell? So
I'm actually kind of a little surprised just because they love doing sequels. They never did a sequel to this movie. Just because the way it ends.
No, but I think to keep it real, I don't think people took to this movie as much. And like you said, I think it's very underrated. I think
it is.
I was shocked when you hadn't heard about it, but there's a lot of people that haven't heard about Milo. And like you said, I mean, I've never seen it high on a ranked list. I mean, I think it's kind of been forgotten in the '90s. You know what I mean? It's just.
And this is one of the movies that should be. This is one of the movies that should have been remembered. It's better than a lot of movies I've seen. It's better than those big names. It's better than the whole Scream franchise.
Oh, appreciate that.
I can't.
Like, I gotta come with something good. You know what I would like? Imagine they redid this, though.
I hope they wouldn't ruin it.
You would get to play Milo. I don't even know where we would begin. They'd probably pick, like, Cole Sprouse or something from, like, Jughead from Riverdale or some shit. But, like, anyway, I imagine if they did a resurgence of this. I mean, maybe change it up a little bit, but I think it could be good. It really could.
It could be. And they could do it. They could do it in this early 90s, or they can do it in these times now. Either way, I think it would work. But you got to get the right cast. You got to get the right kids. And I wouldn't want big names. I hate when they put big names in horror movies. Because you know who's not going to die.
If anyone wants to do a remake, I'd play the chick. I'd play the girl.
The teacher?
Putting that out there now. I would actually I will have genuine fear in my heart, so it'll look real. It'll make a lot of money.
That would be good. That would be good. You got to have that fear.
Oh yeah, it would be legit for sure.
So you say you do acting here and there too?
So I mean, I've been doing entertainment for a long, long time. I've only been in the Scarecon game for like 2 years, but I've been Stilton Walking for about 6 now. But when I was younger, I did a lot of talent conventions and a lot of things like that. But life takes different turns. I always try to come back to entertainment. It's what I feel most reward from. And I mean, I have, some college degrees. I wanted to go into motivational speaking. What you do, doing podcasts, just doing live, interaction radio. I really like this. This is my first thing on a podcast. So thank you so much for having me. I'm super grateful and appreciative that you even offered me the opportunity. So yeah, no, I love the screen. I also have my associates in electronic media communication, so I know how to do the back end of it, directing, producing, screenwriting, all that good stuff. So yeah, I tap into a lot of different things. I think you need to be very versatile in this day and age. So yeah,
you definitely do, and that's real awesome. And thank you for coming on the show. I started this. It'll be 2 years in January, and it just started with just a couple friends and family, and I just started branching out people through Facebook and all that, and it's growing little by little. It's growing. I brought it to Scarecon this past October, this one, and then last year I also brought it out there, and I had a great freaking time doing the panels and everything. It was.
It's a whole nother vibe, man. It's like a family I never want to live without. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a lot of love. A lot of gore, and it's a great place to all convene together, and for like-minded lovers of horror. And I'm so happy that you've joined the team, and I hope you keep going back and keep doing the panels, because it's nice. It's really nice, and like I said, it's a different kind of community than I've ever belonged to. In a sense, I really, really missed it this year, and I hope I'm not away for too long, because I like I said, I really missed it.
You know what felt good about going to these? Like, I didn't know about these cons. I think this was like my 5th or 6th time going to Scarecon. I don't remember. But I didn't know about these cons for years. Somehow my wife found it. And my brother and I went to Scarecon for a couple of years, just me and him. My wife went these past 2 years with me. And it was just, when I brought the podcast out finally, it was cool being on the panel. My favorite franchise is Friday the 13th. And they had the Friday the 13th 7 panel on there last year. And I was on that panel. And I was just like, holy shit, I'm up here watching this, up here on this panel with these people I've watched in movies since I was a little kid. And now I'm sitting here talking with them, joking around and all this.
Oh, for
sure. Never thought about that stuff happening. And that panel, I was kind of nervous, but after that, it's like nothing. So this year, my brother, he moved out to Colorado, him and his wife. He flew out to go to ScareCon this year with us, and we were on a bunch of panels again. I let him do the Sleepaway Camp panel with the cast, and I let him do the Terrifier panel with the cast. And I was just on like regular like podcasting one-on-ones and all that stuff. I just threw him right in the deep end. I was like, yo, he did a couple panels with me so he can get his feet wet. I was like, yo, you're gonna be fine with it. He had such a great time. And then with the Terrifier cast, they actually announced at the con, at that panel that he was doing, that Felissa Rose is going to be in the next Terrifier movie, which was awesome. And then like 2 days later, you see it spread all over the internet. Not the video of the panel, but just online, Felissa Rose is going to be in this movie. And I was like, yo, you got to be on that panel where they actually announced it for the first time to the public. I was like, that was so dope. You don't get that.
No, you don't. And it's so funny that you got your brother. Like, I brought my sister into it. I made her go around, like, I don't know if you know Mr. D's photography. That's kind of how I got pulled in. What up, Mr. D? And my girl Lauren Cunningham, she's amazing. If you haven't seen her, she does amazing horror makeup. She's another person you definitely probably love to have on your podcast.
It's funny you say that because I've tried to invite her, but I haven't got anything back. Maybe you can put in a word for me.
Oh, I will definitely put in. That's my girl. She's unbelievable. She really is. And we were up close with these people. I remember, like, for me, Freddie. Mm-hmm. When I got to meet Carlos, and I got to meet some of the members of their cast, I was blown away. Like, I got choked up, and like I usually don't. But my sister, we gored her all up. She was scaring like Jonathan Brett from like Jeepers Creepers. He's a friend. She was literally scaring the actors that scared us. You know what I mean? See, and it was so like cool. Mind-boggling. I'm like, girl, yeah. And she's just doing her thing. She got to meet Sid Haig. Rest in peace, Sid Haig. I hope you got to meet Sid.
I did. I didn't get his autograph, and I keep kicking myself for that. But I did. My brother and my friend got his autograph, and I just thought, we talked to him for a couple minutes. He was such a nice guy.
Yes.
And one thing I can say about ScareCon is JV gets people that actually want to be there.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Have a great time there, and they're real friendly. There was only 2 people who I didn't like that he brought there that my brothers had issues with, and I was like, you know what? Scratch them off that list. The 2 gentlemen from Scream.
Who was it?
The 2.
Oh, Skeet?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, one of them, and I heard about them on another podcast, too. One of them, I don't know which one it was. My brother was, like, walking in the hall or whatever, and seeing one was like, hey, how you doing? And he was pretty much like, talk to me at my table when you get an autograph. And I'm like, that's a dick move.
I think it was Shaggy. I call him Shaggy.
Yeah.
And
at another con, I was listening to a podcast, and a guy was saying how him and his wife or his girlfriend, I don't remember which, was at a con at a VIP party, and it was pretty much the same thing. She's like, hey, how you doing? Can I take a picture with you? At the VIP party, where they're supposed to be like, if you're going to go there, mingle. Oh, come to my table tomorrow, pay $80 for an autograph. I was like, I wouldn't even shake their hands.
Well, I've had my fair share of that until they figure out, she's in the entertainment. Then it's like I get welcomed in, for sure. So I totally know, but there are a lot of actors that are so genuine and to earth and really do appreciate, and they understand that they'd be nothing without their fans.
Exactly.
So I definitely can relate to that. But I gotta say I've benefited in a lot of ways being a stilt walker, being above everybody's head. That even if they didn't want to acknowledge me, they had to acknowledge me.
Yes.
So there was a time where I went and had my sister go up to someone because I had been working and I couldn't get them, and I wanted them to sign my Freddie's case. Mm-hmm. And they kind of went to her and was like, she's young, she's a little girl, you know what I mean? But she didn't grow up watching it. She said it was for her big sister, and they didn't realize who her big sister was, and that I was the stilt girl. And so they kind of gave her a little attitude. The only one I remember really being just thought his shit didn't stink was what the hell is the kid's name? And he's a new kid coming up in the Halloween game, but he thought he was like a rapper.
Oh my goodness! I know exactly who you're talking about. I forgot his name, but I got his autograph, right?
One though, it's not memorable, and his attitude won't get him far in this industry. But anyway, I wish him the best in all his endeavors.
He was nice to me. I got his autograph, but he didn't mention Halloween one freaking time. He's talking to me about his rap career, and I'm like, I didn't say this to him. I'm like, I don't care about that. I'm here because you were awesome in this movie. I want your autograph for this. I don't care about your rap. I mean, I love rap music, but
did you see his Halloween rap video though? He used Halloween. He used Michael Myers to try to push that, and to me it was like, dude, you don't even acknowledge that you were in a role that kids would have died to have. I mean, literally, let's be real. And like you said, I mean, is that what he's pushing when he's engaging with people at Scaricon events? No, he's not. He's pushing the rap game, and it's like, bro, you're in the wrong venue right now.
Yeah, or at least do both. Like, do a little bit of both. Like, hey, I had a great time with this movie. This is what I'm kind of doing now. But But he just kind of pushed the rap thing. He's like, here, you can check out my YouTube channel. This, that, and the third. I didn't even look at it, as I didn't go there for that.
He's young. He'll learn.
Yeah. And I mean, if you have a passion, I'm not going to say don't do your passion, but...
Yeah, no.
You're there for a certain reason, to promote that horror at a con. Do that. Do both at the very least. Do both. You can make that work.
I agree. For sure.
And you better be good at rapping for all this promoting you're doing for it. Because if I play that, you're terrible. I'm gonna let people know, like, yo, this guy's awful.
Might have to drop you the link. You might have to do a review on that on your podcast, and it'll be a lot of laughs. I'll tell you that.
Oh man,
laughs for sure.
I would do it. And I'll be like, oh my god. But if it's good, I would say it's good.
We don't come off like we're hating.
No, not at all.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
But we got his name. That right there just says a lot. You know?
You know what? It's because it wasn't like a regular name. It started with a D, I think, and I think his last name started with an F.
Dig.
There you go. I never heard a name like that before.
And Dig. I can't say the rest, but.
And he did such a great job in Halloween. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Rob Zombie movies. I know a lot of people didn't like that Halloween movie. I enjoyed it because you've seen, which it's, I guess, typical, but you've seen why he was the way he was in a sense, because he had the abusive, alcoholic stepdad, handicapped stepdad at that, and just, he was treated like shit. He was bullied and all this, and then he finally just snapped, and now he raps.
I mean, he got a little weird with the unicorns and shit. I'm gonna be honest.
That one, I didn't like the second one at all.
Things like that, but I might be too realistic of a viewer. You know what I mean? Going to film school, I think it kind of disturbed my brain in a sense, like, continuity, certain things like that just stick out to me. Mm-hmm. If it's not realistic, like, I'm kind of like, unless you're going futuristic, unless you're going completely like, kind of, that's the whole premise of things. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. But to me, a lot of times, like, I'll lose all respect for a film if you can just tell, like, they put no money towards this, and then all the money's in this area of production. You know what I mean? But they drop the ball with accessories or background or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? It's just, when it becomes so apparent, like, this guy lost focus when he was trying to create his plot line, that he just went off.
And he did such a great job with the first one. Then with part two, it started out pretty good, and then you see his mother on the damn horse. I was like, what is this? I finished it. I don't know how many times I watched it.
Dream state, I think, like a dream state, but I don't know. To each their own.
It really bothered me.
I'm always going to be a sucker for originals and first makes of things, because I think that's when, even just Halloween, like the music. Mm-hmm. That was the scariest aspect of most films when I was growing up. If the music track was not on point, then you weren't going to get me to, or be clinging to something, because the ambiance wasn't being created, the whole way through the film. And that's what I appreciate about old films. That's why when you had asked me, I said, I want something original. I don't know how many times I went back and forth with you, like, yo, I gotta pick something good, something no one's talked about. Everyone's done it. Everyone's done Chucky. Everyone, wanted something that no one might have done. And I was happy with Milo, because it is a different type of plot. It is something that I think would do really well if it was redone in the right way. But I also know this movie took a lot of shit, and I really don't understand why. So
honestly, I would say it wasn't popular. A lot of times people just say, oh, this movie's good because it's a big name studio, like Halloween, for example, which I do love, don't get me wrong, but it's like, versus something like this, oh, I never heard of it, what's the point of watching it? Like, why not?
Right,
it didn't go to theaters, it's not a big production movie, so that doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean it's not good. There's a lot of indie and there's a lot of low-budget movies that are freaking amazing.
Oh, for sure.
These Hollywood ones, don't get me wrong, I'm one of those horror fans. I love remakes. I'm a sucker for remakes, but they have to be done right. And for me to enjoy it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 was a great one. Friday the 13th, the remake it was okay, maybe good at best, but it wasn't great. I didn't like how it wasn't too serious. It should have been darker. I like the underground tunnel. That didn't bother me, but it was too jokey for me. I didn't like that it was like in 2000 instead of in the 80s. But that's
Right.
come on, Jason's in the 80s, not now. That bothered me a lot, and just they should have taken that more serious. Not just because he's my favorite slasher, but that does help. I don't mind, and I don't mind in the Friday the 13th franchise. I know there's like little comic relief here and there. That's cool, but I felt like throughout the whole movie, damn near every scene, there was something funny or something supposedly funny, and that didn't work for me.
I'm curious as to what your opinion is. I don't know if you remember back in the day, they were supposed to come out with more like, how they came out with the Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Then they were going to make like another serial killer versus another serial killer. Did you ever remember hearing anything about rumors to have?
I remember the Freddy vs. Jason thing for years, and then I don't remember them rumoring other ones, but there was ones I had in my mind though. I always wanted to see Jason versus Michael. I always wanted to see that, and people were like, how does it work? Because they don't talk. I said, easily. Laurie Strode goes to Camp Crystal Lake. It's under a different name. She's going. She thinks Michael's gone for good. Pretty much, she runs into Jason somehow. She thinks it's Mike. She sees him from like a distance. She thinks it's Michael. She calls Michael. Jason doesn't pay her no damn mind. Michael ends up there because for some reason he always knows where she is. Always. I have no idea how he knows. And they end up fighting, and Jason's gonna win. But
I always want to see a matchup between Freddy and Leprechaun because they both had these magical capacities to disappear, reappear, and all that shit.
That would be hilarious too.
It could be good. And the Leprechaun, he's funny.
He's hilarious. So is Freddy.
Saying those little clever little things, and I think it would be super entertaining. And then Freddy, but they keep making these Freddy remakes, and they're just not doing justice at all. Like, I'm getting hurt personally every time they want to come out with something new, and I'm like, dude, if you ain't gonna make Johnny Depp get sucked into a water bed filled with blood, or you're not gonna, make this girl fall through the damn steps as she's going up like it's swamp.
Yeah.
I'm not intrigued anymore. Like, you better stop because it's just garbage now.
It
really has been.
Again, like I said, I do love remakes, but I feel like they need to come with some more fresh ideas. Even if you come out with a new slasher, like Terrifier, I loved it. A lot of people didn't really... It's hit or miss with some people because there was really no story to it, but I don't feel like you really needed a story for the first one of that, just because you got to know Art. You don't know where he came from, which I do like. You don't know why he is the way he is, which I like. I would like more of a story for the second one, but at the same time, it had some great kills in it. The Upside Down kill is one of my favorite kills of all time. It's definitely in my top 10 list, which I don't have, but it's definitely in there. Easily.
Do you have, it's so hard for me to pick, what would be my top even, 3?
That's hard. I would have to really sit down and think about that. I know Jason's on that list at least once or twice.
And you're talking, original, Friday the 13th, or you're talking about in, the first of his series, kind of?
His whole series, but just, one kill, damn, that's tough. It is tough. I would have to, really go through and watch these movies or even watch, YouTube videos just for the kills and see which ones really stand out. The sleeping bag kill for Jason, that's one that stands out to everybody knows it.
Right. Now, do you prefer more the killer slasher kind of thrillers, or you even Possession, and do you cover a lot of those, or is it more the serial killers and stuff like that?
Well, my favorites are slashers, but whatever anybody wants to cover, I'll do. And I'm getting more into the Possession stuff like that. That's what my wife loves, that stuff.
Oh, really?
And
the paranormal activities stuff and all that.
The paranormal type movies. I love the Conjuring series, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But she likes those kind of movies. They really freak her out. And then being kind of spiritual and maybe Spanish too. That just...
Santeria and black magic. Oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah, you guys bring it to a different level. Real animated and stuff.
For sure.
I really enjoy it more. And I'm starting to love that like I do slashers.
Okay.
Just because... Honestly, I think this podcast helped a lot because it's making me watch so many more movies that I've never heard of, like this, for example. And I never thought I'd watch just because people are like, hey, I'd like to review this movie with you. I'm like, okay, well, if I can find it, I'll watch it, and I'll tell you what I think about it.
Well, I was even thinking of movies where people get infected or by bugs. I mean, to some people that could be horror. I mean, it's scary to think about a bug crawling in your ear and laying eggs inside you. I mean, like, there's a lot of different ways you could expand the horror of movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just killer and small. It could be psychological. It could be psycho. I mean, have you done Psycho, by the way?
I have not. But I would. Not yet.
What? Original Psycho?
Everybody, like, I just, like, for most of my episodes, like I said, for the ones that we actually did reviews and we're just randomly talking horror, whatever people come at me with, I'm just like, okay. And it can be fan films. I've gotten, I think, 3 screeners now. And they just don't want me to spoil it, which is fine. Just, talk about it a little bit. And I go with whatever they want to do. If I can find it, I'll do it. Even if I hate it. Like my brother, we did Tales from the Hood too. Both of us hated it. Oh man, we even have an open challenge, which we even said this at the past ScareCon on the panel. We want at least 1 or 2 people that really enjoyed the movie, really liked it, really loved it, not just said it was okay.
Right.
To tell us, come on and have a debate with us why they love that movie. Because
no.
I'd
rather Tales of the Crypt.
That's good.
Keep it real. Yeah, exactly. That is good.
That's good. But Tales from the Hood, the original one, great. Loved it. Hilarious. The second one, I don't know why they did it. It was and it was the same director. I don't know. He should have just did something else or had somebody else do it.
Sometimes I think they just the fact that they're coming out with a second one, it's like, we already made it, so we don't have to put much into it. You know what I mean? Because it's like people are going to eat the shit up and buy it anyway. But that's when you become a conscious consumer and you don't go and look at these videos that go into these box offices that aren't meant to be there. Because you got a lot of foreign films or indie films, like you said, that are phenomenal that never get that platform or that opportunity. You got to start looking at, too, some of these foreign vampire movies because they get raw.
That's what I need to get into next is foreign films. One of my co-hosts, though, who I just linked up with yesterday, has a shit ton of movies, and he has like a huge list. He's going to get it together so we can start reviewing that for movies from like the 50s and 60s because I've never ventured that far back.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to really, open up with this horror stuff more and see where some of this horror came from. So
some of those like original Dracula movies probably be really awesome to go back and just see. And I think that's where like a lot of some of the best makeup has come out of those years. I swear to you, with the prosthetics and shit like that. And that's like when they were first experimenting with latex and fake blood, and it was black and white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which is incredible. We've come so far. Oh, I'm gonna get Lauren on your podcast. This girl, I'm telling you, she'll do like a crazy ass look, and like she's phenomenal. She's absolutely phenomenal. So
I've seen her work. I follow her page. Actually, David Howard Thornton's the one that put me on the page. I see him sharing it all the time.
Yeah.
I follow her page. I'm just like, holy shit, this work is amazing. She did 31 Days for October, as you know.
Oh yeah, my girl she's legit. She's legit. I can't wait till like somebody like finds her and literally gives her the credit she deserves because she is an amazing, incredible horror artist. And she's gonna make it very soon. Very soon, I know it.
You know what's funny is this past ScareCon, they had us on a bunch of panels, and like they had us on. I was on it. My brother was doing something else, I think, or no, he was sitting in the crowd. It was indie film directing, or shoestring. No, so shoestring. Wow, shoestring budget. But they had an indie director in there with me, so I was kind of moderated it, and I would talk about the podcast as far as all out of my own pocket, going back and forth with that. But then they had us on a panel. This was just me and my brother at this time for special effects. Neither one of us know shit about that. I was expecting someone to be up there with us that knew what they were talking about. So we're talking about how we like special effects, and I was like, "Is there anybody in here that actually does this?" And luckily for us, 2 people raised their hand at first, like, "Yeah, we do this." I was like, "Do you want to come up here and do this with us?" 2 more people like, "We do this too." I was like, "You know what? You guys can just take this panel because you know what you're talking about." And they had such a good time. Like, it was cool just watching that and watching them go back and forth with the people that were in there, others that were getting into it and that do it. And I asked them after, I was like, "Did you guys?" They're like, "Yeah, we had such a good time. Thank you." I was like, "No, thank you," because we had no idea what the hell we were talking about. I don't know where this was going to go.
No, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's their realm. And it really is such a beautiful craft.
It is.
I had never realized how much time and commitment it takes to do some of these looks. But this girl has mastered it to a science that she can bust out a look that easily would take someone 8-10 hours, and she's managed to do it so fast before people are walking into those conventions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize she's done 8 or 9 promo models, me, stilt walker, I mean, full top to bottom makeup, and it's like, she just
Is she always at Scaricon?
It's unreal.
Is she always at Scaricon?
She does Scaricon. I know she did this year for sure. She was there, and I know she's probably always gonna go back and stuff. But until obviously she hits a platform, which she's getting there for sure, because you know, like you said, she did the 31 Days of Halloween, and
mm-hmm.
I mean, she was impressive. Every day, you didn't know what the hell she was gonna do. You know what I mean? From Rango to, you know, Beetlejuice. I mean, she was just coming out with these looks, and we're like, damn, girl, like, we didn't even know you had, like, where does it come from? Like,
yeah, how the hell do you do this? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Does she have a YouTube channel?
I mean, I think she definitely does have a YouTube. I'm just getting onto all this kind of stuff like that. I'm more like in your face, personable, you know, your next door neighbor kind of vibe, but she's more into the platforms and into this, and so yeah, she has all those channels. Look her up, Lauren Cunningham. She's on Instagram. She's all over. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she has a YouTube channel, a makeup channel.
That's good. I'm only asking because I'm trying to get myself out there more on YouTube, doing videos and all that, and I know it just helps being on multiple platforms when people see it and then end up enjoying it, and I love it. Like, I try to promote as many people as I can when it comes to horror. If they come on here, I'll promote the hell out of you as much as I can, and I try to connect people too, network with people, because I've had a couple indie horror directors on here that I'll send people their way, and I don't know what happens after that. Like, I'll be like, look, I sent you in that direction. You got to reach out to them. I'll let them know and see what happens, and just it's so freaking cool. And I just have so much fun with it. Like, I don't even do this for. Obviously, I don't do it for money because I'm not getting paid, but I would never do it for that. No, well, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't charge people to come on the podcast.
That's the aspiration. It's all right. That's the aspiration. That's the ultimate goal. But no, I actually absolutely commend you. I think most times you got to start from a place of being humble and you know, just building up your craft, and you just keep doing this more and more. I'm telling you, it's gonna pan out in the end. It's a sacrifice, though. It takes years and years of sacrifice and dedication. I know, like you said, you know, this all comes out of your own pockets, you know, and I truly admire that. You know, that's how you must be a go-getter, and that's what you do. Lauren, the same way. I mean, no one's paying her and paying for all her makeup and her palette. That comes all from her pocket. But someday, she's going to blow up, and it's all going to be okay. So
with her work, I'm surprised she doesn't have, like, sponsors by now, because that is just...
And she does. She does, but I mean, it's slowly but surely. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes, people, if you're not right in LA, you're not ready to go tomorrow. You know, it's kind of like you get overlooked. But I mean, her talent is undeniable. She's definitely going to get there. She's just in a market right now that I think is not the biggest. You know what I mean? When you come from upstate New York and you're not right in New York City or whatever, you know what I mean? So it takes a little more time to reach a higher platform, but...
That's one thing that sucks, being from upstate New York. There's so many talented people out here that do so much stuff, and nobody gets credit. The city gets credit for a lot of things, but there's a lot of people that come up from the city and come here. I'm like, look, man, there's a lot of talent here. Whether it's podcasting, music, whatever it is, and someone needs to put them on the map, put upstate on the map.
I agree. I mean, it's unfortunate I'm not there anymore. I'm hitting up the ATL. You know, I'm trying to get
smart move though.
You know, dig some claws in the gravel out here and see what's up and see what I can pull out of this beautiful city. But whenever I get to travel, I mean, obviously I know my roots. You know, I'm a New Yorker, heart and heart, and we're hustlers. We're always gonna hustle.
Yeah.
So that'll never leave me. That'll never leave me for sure.
I hear you with that. When I do the, what panel was? I think it was like Podcasting 101. It's funny because the first thing people ask is, do you make money off of this? I was like, no. And I said, honestly, if you're going into it to make money, don't even do it. I said, because after 2 or 3 episodes, 5 max, you're going to be burned out, bored of it, because you're going to not see results.
It becomes monotonous. It has to be about building the network, building the rapport, and the relationships with people. You know, just being a genuine person, being someone that's personable will get you a long way in this world. And
exactly.
Like I said, I'm super humbled and honored that you even thought of me. to be on your podcast. So big ups to you, and I'm gonna spread this out there. I'm gonna let people know, like, you gotta be on his podcast. Especially if you're a horror fan and you're a lover of
exactly.
Movies.
I believe I've seen you at Scarecon before. I know I have. I had to have. And I know, as a matter of fact, I think it was you and 3 other people. I don't know anybody's names. Did you used to do the pictures at Scarecon? They had like the Scarecon backdrop when you first walked in?
I was by Mr. D's, Mr. D's booth, and I obviously I was the tallest one up there. But yeah, I did a little promo modeling for him, and I walked around and just represented Scarecon for JV. I think he's absolutely amazing. They put on a great event every year, and I always feel the love when I'm there. So anytime they want to have it, it was a little sad this year. I know they moved it to Rochester, but I heard great things. I really did hear great things. So I'm happy it went off with a hitch, and it was still a good event.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Speaking of that, I'm wondering what it's going to be next year. Because I'm sure you heard some of the downs of it too, with the Rochester.
Bit of mixed messages, but
nothing bad as far as Scarecon's part and JV's part. Nothing on them. It was more the venue, the hotel itself. Like, it's getting torn down in April. Nobody knew about that. They had a breast cancer walk that Sunday.
Oh, really?
All the roads were closed off. So if you left the hotel like we did to go get coffee, you couldn't go back in there to park in the garage. So we had to park down the street and all, further down the road and all this.
So people were deterred and getting upset about all that stuff.
But the thing is like the hotel didn't tell Scarecon. The hotel didn't tell anybody. My wife, because we had to go check out. So we were still staying for the rest of the day, but we had to check out at 11. So she went and told them, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I know that this was going on." I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, you guys should have signs up. You guys should be letting people know. If you gotta leave, try not to drive and leave the garage. Walk somewhere. And come back because you won't be able to get back for a few hours. There's like 10,000 people walking, so
logistical errors, right?
Yeah, but
forget to inform people.
Other than that, I had it was the best con I've ever been to. I did VIP for the very first time.
Good. I'm so happy. It was that great. I was, like I said, I'm really sad I wasn't there. I wish I was there. Because like I said, it's something I look forward to almost every October, and a little sad about it.
It's fun, and like I love what JV and then what they do for the podcasters. They give us a table, 2 media passes. You get in there. I mean, I pay for power and all that. That's no big deal. Yeah. And I had such a great freaking time at this con, and I can't wait for the next one. I actually got. It's funny. On the way to Scarecon, I got invited to another con by another podcaster. That it's a con he's emceeing or something. It's in Connecticut. It's called Wicked Weekend.
Yeah.
This is my first time hearing about this year hearing about it because I see him posting about it all the time, and he just hit me up and said, "Hey, Aaron," he was like, "I can probably get you." He's like, "I can get you a table and passes if you want to come to this con." He's like, "I definitely recommend the VIP thing." I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, "Yeah, we're going." So we're going to that.
Good. That's how it starts, man. Just keep going, keep pushing. Every opportunity is a newer opportunity. It's a better opportunity, so go for it. Because I think
I'm definitely going, and then. I got invited to another con a couple of days before that. This one's smaller. It's out. I forgot which part of New York it's in. I know it starts with an O. That's all I remember. It's close to Syracuse, though. And I'm going to that one. Same thing. The guy was like, "Hey, I would like you to come out to the con." Blah blah blah. Smaller. I was like, "That's fine. I don't care about the size of the con." And get you a table. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. I feel like I have to take these opportunities. I'd be stupid to say no. If something comes up to where I couldn't, that's one thing. Family first, obviously. But I mean, if I can go. I'm going because I got to make a name for myself one way or another. And more networking. That's my main thing is like going there networking. I had a guy on here earlier. I had a podcast at 11 this morning earlier with a film student. And he really loves horror. And he was in that panel I was telling you about, the shoestring budget panel. And after the thing was over, I went up to him, talked to him. I had already given him a card. I was like, "Look, email me as soon as you can. I want you on my podcast because I want people to hear your name and know about you before you even start."
Right.
And I interviewed him earlier today. He's going to be on again, definitely. He has a YouTube channel. I forgot what it's called. I know I shared it on my horror group, though, which Horror with Sir Sturdy. And they did, like, the film, they did, like, a 30-minute film and, like, 1 or 2 minute films. I didn't get to watch them yet, but I was like, "Look, post it on my page and share it all over the place, man, because it's just how you should work with people, man."
The ripple effect. That's how that chain reaction. That's how it happens. Now I know you're married. Do you have little ones?
Stepkids, but yeah. Not little, but yeah.
But how do they respond to it? Are they into it? Do they love it?
No.
Really? Oh, okay.
My wife's into horror. The kids, not so much. Like the daughter, she is somewhat. She's a Freddy fan, like her mother. The boys, not at all, really. They'll play some video games like Friday the 13th, or what's that other one they play? I forgot. Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay.
But as far as the movies and stuff go, no. But
no. Well, they're young, and kids are so impressionable. You really shouldn't start them early. But it's so funny because my brother just had his first daughter, and I became an aunt, and my niece's name is Charlie Ray, and her mother is a super horror fan. So Charles Lee Ray, big ups to Chucky. Awesome. So it's super sweet. But I think Charlie will always have those remnants of horror in her because we love it. But we also understand she's young. We're not going to expose her too young before she's ready. But it's cool when you see little kids at these cons. I love to see the kids. I love to see them dressed up. I love to see their parents be so creative with their costumes. I remember seeing twins come as the Shining twins. It blew my mind.
I love that stuff.
It was awesome. So I always love to see the kids get involved, and they come, and it's a family thing. It's a family event.
Yes, that's one thing I can say about ScareCon. Definitely family friendly. And my brother, he's like my producer and all that stuff. So I gave my niece, his daughter, a pink Jason. First I showed her one of my Jason masks. I think it was this one right here, and she was scared of it. So I had one.
I like that one.
This is from part 7. I forgot which kind I got this one at, but I had a pink one that I painted a long time ago, and I'm not a great painter, but I let her see that one, and she wasn't scared of it, so I let her keep it. And my brother sent me a video where he said, "Who is this?" And then he recorded it, and she's like, "Oh, it's Jason's mask or something." So I was like, "Listen, I need you to do me a favor." I was like, "Cut that audio out and put that in my intro for the podcast. So when you listen to the intro of the podcast again, you'll hear her say, 'Well, it's Jason's mask,' or 'Oh, it's Jason's mask.'" I was like, "I'm keeping that in my intro from that. Even if I switch up my intro some, which I'm actually working on, that part is staying in there." And she's never seen a Jason movie. She knows the mask. She's seen the game. And I remember I was in the store with her one day, I think GameStop, and I was like, "Oh, look, Mia, what is this?" She's like, "That's the Jason game." She's like, "But that's inappropriate for me." And she's 5. I was like, "I don't even know if she knew that damn word."
Aww.
I was like, "Inappropriate," but I have.
They'll surprise you, man. They'll surprise you, but they're in tune. They're in tune, whether we want to accept it or not. They're like little brainsters, you know.
And then my other brother, he lives out. The one that moved out to Colorado. His son is 5. Actually, he's also 5. He lets him watch like The Walking Dead. He lets him play the horror video games, and they'll play like little zombie games together. Like they'll shoot him with a Nerf gun, but he gets violent. Like he said one time he tried to stomp his head, and he had to tell him like, "Look, this is just pretend." But he lets him know it's all pretend and fake. And he's gonna be a huge horror fan when he gets old. Like once he lets him start watching horror movies, he's gonna be a huge freaking fan.
You know what you gotta do with him? Go do one of those zombie runs. See if he's ready. You ever heard of those? I do one. Okay, it's like, you know how they have like the 5K runs?
Okay, yeah.
There's a zombie run where you get 3 flags and there's zombies all set up in the field all throughout, and they'll pop up and they try to snatch your flag.
Nice.
If they get all 3, it's like you become infected and you didn't survive the apocalypse. But if you make it to the end with at least one of your flags, you made it out.
That's
you know what I mean?
cool.
You're a survivor.
That's cool.
It's crazy, but I mean, they look real. They pop out the mud. They pop out bushes. They're set up all throughout and like in the ground. They got booby trap ones. Like, it's crazy. I always wanted to do a zombie run, but that would be something you might want to take him on, see how prepared he is.
He's all the way in Colorado now, so that'd be that's up to his dad now. He's gonna have to do that. I would.
Yeah, it'd be fun though. It'd be something for the family, or at least your girl. Your girl will love that.
She might.
You know?
She's scared.
She's scared somebody real fast.
She scares easy, and she's always talking about hitting people. So I'm like, I'm not doing this. We can't go to these type of things if you're going to be doing that, because I don't want to get in trouble because you're hitting people because they scared you.
Yeah, but it's natural instinct. Some of these ones, when you go to these haunted houses, you tell them, "Yo, I'm scared, back up," and they don't back up. You know, it's like they're almost asking to get smacked. You know.
Must be a Latin thing. That's the first thing you guys revert to.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Did you see, I think it was on YouTube. It was either YouTube or Netflix. Speaking of these haunted house type things, there's one where it's more like a torture house than a haunted house.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yep.
And
you actually pay for this stuff.
You don't even, you just have to bring like dog food, because they donate dog food to shelters and all this stuff.
Okay.
But they like slam you, do all kinds of stuff to you, and I'm like, and you can't hit them back. I was like, I would never sign up for that because if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna defend. That's how I was raised. I'm gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna. And then if you're going with, like, say if you're going, because I think you can go in groups of 2s or 3s. So it's like if I'm going with me and my wife, and you put your hands on my wife, I'm probably gonna damn near kill you. So that's just scaring, jumping out and scaring. It's fine, cool.
Right.
Don't touch me.
Well, some of these things are borderline sketchy. But I knew one because, like I said, my brother's fiance is big into it.
Mm-hmm.
They always look to go and do these bigger things. And there's this one in New York City. You pay for it, but like literally, no matter what, they are allowed to do things to you. And you like sign a waiver. But like literally, you do get like somewhat tortured.
Yeah.
Like from what my understanding is. Yeah, I'm not down for shit like that either. I'm not down for shit like that.
I'm not signing up for that. I don't. If you want to dress up and try to jump out and scare me, cool. Even if you tap me, that's fine. But when you're like grabbing somebody and throwing them down and all this, that's going to be issues because then you're going to have some ghetto ass people waiting for you outside.
Yeah, it's a little invasive. I agree. And sometimes I think it's in good fun, and other times I think they go a little too hard. I mean, if you see a girl that's clearly like about to shit on herself, like please back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. No need for all that. You know, you did what you were meant to do. You know, you scared her.
Yeah, see, the scaring thing I find it hilarious, but it's when it gets physical. I'm like, this isn't a movie scene. That's not necessary for you to be doing that. I don't have a stunt double. I don't know.
I guess everyone knows how to approach their sturdy now.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say I'm a nice person though, but just imagine going to something and somebody just comes up and hits you. You're not gonna just stand there like.
No, there's a limit. Of course, there's a limit.
I feel like that's like disrespecting me. Like, stay in my bubble. Back up.
Yeah, but think about it. If he's a real serial killer, he don't care about your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't expect me to be a hero in some sort of Friday the 13th movie. I'll be the last motherfucker to be. I'm running.
I think I just came up with a dope plot, though. Imagine that. Well, they kind of done movies like that. Like, have you ever seen the movie Valentine? You know what I mean? It's like. They probably should make a movie like that where it's like you think that the person is gonna kill you, but I think I might have just lost my whole damn train of thought what I was going for. No, seriously, but there's like the Valentine, like it was have you ever seen the Valentine?
I haven't, but you can still say whatever you want about it.
Well, no, it was like a movie where like they were like. The guy wore a mask. It was like a Cupid like mask kind of thing, and maybe they already have made movies like that, and I'm just haven't watched one yet. But I'm trying to think of like I haven't watched that one in a long time either. But it was good. That one had Denise Richards in it. I gotta think of it now, and it's not My Bloody Valentine because that had an original too, and then they made the new one with the full mouth, and I didn't think that one was that great, but that was the one in the 3D. Mm-hmm. You remember that? Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of trash. But that one's not like the one that I'm trying to think of. But I can't think of what I was going to say about that one.
I wouldn't mind seeing a horror movie if they haven't done it yet in a con. You don't know who the killer is because everybody's dressed up, like cosplayers and all that.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, you don't know if they're...
Yeah.
I mean, like, going to kill you, but then they could be killing.
That would be interesting. That would be entertaining. Probably funny, too.
I used to have an ongoing nightmare when I was growing up about having all the serial killers locked in my high school. You know what I'm saying? And you're hiding throughout, like, your science class. You know what I mean? And Chucky walks by. And then you know what I mean? But then it's like they meet up and they fight. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But you have Leprechaun, Chucky, Jason, Michael, Freddy, like even like Hellraiser, whoever. I mean, you gotta pick a few. You can't have every single one in there.
But I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? How about, you remember the movie Warlock?
Not really.
Damn, you gotta watch that one. That's an old good one.
You're gonna have to give me a damn list.
I'm gonna start, and these ones are old school. How about Rumpelstiltskin?
I might have seen that once.
The killer one, though.
Yeah.
I even seen Killer Pinocchio. You ever seen that one?
I always wanted to, and I don't know why. Why didn't I watch that?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's a little corny because he's obviously a puppet, but hey, he like literally kills people. Like this dude travels to a hospital and like unplugs somebody's like breathing machine. Like he does some raw ass killing in that.
See, I would definitely watch that though. Like one of
Pinocchio.
One of my favorite horror comedies is Thanksgiving with that damn turkey.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. See, now I'm going to watch that one. Thank you for giving me that one. I'm going to look that one up because Thanksgiving's coming up, so it'll be perfect.
Yeah, I actually did a podcast with my friend Matt on that. We released it on Thanksgiving. It's hilarious. My wife
send me the link to that. I got to watch that.
I'll see if I can find it again. It used to be on YouTube. I'm not sure if it is. If it is, I'll let you know. But
it's on YouTube. I'll just look it up when we get off. I'll look that one up. It's called
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay.
And there's a part 1 and there's a part 3. There's no part 2. Part 3, they're searching for part 2. But you can really skip part 3. That one was okay, I guess.
I'm gonna start with the original. I always like to watch them in like a series. Like so I'll start at one.
But the original is one of those movies you turn your brain off and just enjoy.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Oh my goodness, my wife, she hates horror comedy. So when I had the movie on because I was preparing for the podcast, she just got up and left. She's like, I can't do this, and just left the room. I was like, okay, everybody has their own things, but I love it.
I'm open to a lot. The only movies I really don't get down with, and I'm gonna be honest, is not so much I don't like noir films. I just honestly they kind of put me to sleep. It's like watching a western. I can't really keep my eyes open for things like that. I don't know why. They just to each their own. Everybody has their ones that they fall asleep to. That's mine. But also, I never really got down with like sci-fi, like certain I mean, I could watch some, but there's some that I just can't get down with it. They like bore me. I don't get captured in the first half hour. I'm like,
you gotta go. Yeah, I understand.
Need to check out. It just doesn't do nothing for me.
I know. Sharknado is one of those movies for me. I watched the first one and maybe half of the second one, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to watch these movies for the podcast, to talk about it, and I just could not get through. I was like,
I know the guys that made rough. Sharknado.
It was rough. No disrespect to them, but it was
no. They're new, up and coming, but cool, very cool people. Very cool.
I think I would have enjoyed that movie more if there was no names in it, rather than Tara Reid and the dude from 90210. If those two weren't in it, and it was a completely different cast that you've never heard of, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more and respected it more. But with those two in it, and all of them probably, I can't do it. And
you have expectations, though, when you hear names like that. When you hear certain actors, even though Tara Reid has always been like a kind of wishy-washy, still, she's been in some things, you know what I mean? Especially in the comedy, realm. So, like, I completely understand with that. It's funny, though, in that picture that if you've seen on Facebook, I mean, I'm kind of getting eaten by the shark. That was, like, their prop when they were at last Scaricon.
I thought that was for House Shark. I was checking that out. I was like, wait a minute. I remember this damn shark was that,
Well, they're doing more of those too as well.
House
coming
shark?
Up. The house shark.
Yeah,
I think a third or even a fourth maybe now.
I think we're mixing the movies up. House Shark was with. I don't even have the freaking prop with me right now. I have a little figure thing of it. It's probably back there. But that's a fun movie. Definitely check that one out. It's on. Do you have Tubi?
I don't.
It's downloaded. I don't even think it's an app. It's on the Fire. It's on wherever you can stream at, but it's free. All you have to do is sign up with your email. There's a shit ton of movies on there.
Oh, really? Okay, good. Yeah. Good to know, because I'm always looking for new movies, for sure. I'm such a movie buff.
Not even downfall. The only thing is you'll have like a 20-second commercial sometimes, but it's free. You can't really complain about that.
You got that on Netflix now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're really getting you. Hulu, even on Hulu. You pay for it not to be on, you're still getting damn commercials.
Yeah, I don't mind a 20, 30-second commercial. It's not a huge deal for me, but...
Well, sometimes they do the 1 through 4, and then the same commercial is all 4 of them. You're like, come on, man. Come on. Change this now. No, once again, the Latina comes out, the impatience. It's starting to brew. It's starting to brew.
Trust me, I know. I see it. I love my wife to death. I see it a lot.
I gotta also say too, because now you're just speaking about Scaricon, everything is just like hitting me. The incredible like artists that are there. I mean, their artwork is outstanding. The way that they make dolls and just like some of the vendors there. Oh my gosh! I commend their creativity. It's just
I don't even know how the hell I'm like, how do you do this? And I'm just like, oh, I just sit down and draw. I'm like, well, I try that. I can't even trace that good, and you're over here drawing freehand, just sketching, watching me.
The guy literally takes people's portraits and he turns them into superheroes or different things, and I was like, this guy's like incredibly talented, but there's so many amazing cats at these Scarecons. I swear to you that I just had to bring that up too. Not just the makeup artistry, but the other artists.
I was in we went to Monster Mania a few years ago. I think my brother went to this one with us, and there was guys there. I wish I remembered the freaking names. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. But they were drawing pictures of like your favorite horror icon. So they did like half my face, and then like it would look messed up kind of, and then the other half was a Jason mask.
Oh, nice.
And I was holding a soda bottle over my head, but they drew it and made it look like a machete. And I wish I knew where the picture was so I can show you, but...
Oh, wow.
I just love stuff like that. I have an older brother that can just, like, he does, like, auto body work and stuff, but he could just sit there and just... Me and him were sitting at my father's one day. He was just sitting there looking at a magazine and just drawing the truck on there. I was like, how the hell did you just do that in, like, 10 minutes?
Yeah, no, I agree that some of the talent there is just like unreal. It's amazing. Even the fang guy, the guy that comes and does custom fangs, and there's just so many good vendors there that are just really amazing.
I love it.
Really amazing. I love going to the Scarecon just for the damn pins. Every time I go, I got this one pin that I favor over like all my scary pins. It's the one of the scene of Freddy Krueger with the claw in the bathtub, and he's about to like rip out her chocha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that pin. I got it on my jean jacket.
What you just said there is funny. I'm going to tell you why. So, every con we've been going to since... my wife's been to a few cons together. She just went to ScareCon last year for the first time. But there was another con we went to back in April in Albany when Robert Englund was here. My brother moved a month before this con. A month or two before the con. He was pissed because that's his favorite.
Right. Of course.
He left us the glove to get signed and all that. My wife made him like a nice shadow box. But what I'm getting at is like at that con she got pins. So then ScareCon she got more pins and she put them on her jean jacket. And she didn't do it this year because she was getting pissed off with the pins and you know how you guys get. But she was like, I'm not even gonna bring it. But she did, and you say the same thing. Like I had my jean jacket with the pins. I'm just, what the?
Yep. Every time Linda Blair's face comes off, I'm like pissed. I'm like that little devilish bitch. She just keeps falling. She won't stay where she's meant to. So I gotta meet your wife at some point because she seems pretty chill. We're like on each other's wavelength.
She is. I hope you're at a ScareCon again soon. Hopefully next year.
I gotta go back. I know. I gotta go. I'm gonna go back next year. I'm ready. Ready.
Do you get a media pass for it?
I do. I get hooked up, but I usually go with Mr. D. I go with the promo models, and he usually takes care of us.
That's good though.
Yeah, big ups to Mr. D for looking out for his ladies. That's
good, and it's cool because like I love what they do with the podcast. And JV, I've had him on here 3 times now. I was supposed to go to the one in June, but I couldn't make it. But I've had him on here 3 times, and he's like, I love what you do with your podcast as far as promoting ScareCon. And I just love horror. Whatever is coming up that I know I'm going to or going to be a part of, I try to promote it as much as I can and try to get people to go and tell people about it. And just not because they're giving me a table. I would have did it either way. I was at a con with my friend, the same con in Albany a couple of years ago. I was helping him at his table. He has a podcast. It's about video games, technology, and science. I was helping him with his table the whole weekend, and I was just promoting. Like we would do live recordings, and then I would go on Facebook Live from my phone and tag the con and tag his page or my page.
Right.
At the end of the con that weekend, whoever runs the con came up to us and like, you guys should apply for media passes next year because what you did. But this was before I started my podcast, so this was 2 years ago then. So I didn't have enough of a backing at the time, like enough following at the time. And I don't know if he got a pass or not. I know he started going there again and just kind of walking around. He didn't get a table because that's expensive as hell if you got to pay for it.
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm like, you got to keep doing it. And if I'm ever at a scare, I would love to be a part of your panel. So you already got me sitting right beside you. I'm ready.
Hey, look.
I'm ready.
Whatever the topic is, you might know more than... I don't know how much you know about special effects, but if they get me on that one again, I'm like, look...
I'll have Lauren cover
there
that.
You go.
But, But no, I'm definitely, I hope to be a part of next year's for sure. I missed it, and I don't want to keep missing it because it's, like I said, it's all about the love. It's a place where people convene, and it's just a lot of love. It's a lot of love.
You know what else is cool about these cons, which you'll understand this completely, is being black and you being Spanish, being black and brown. You see more of our people at this type of stuff. Like you don't see it. You see it in the movies, yeah, but you see it more at this type of thing because you wouldn't even think about it. You think, oh, just nerds go to this kind of thing, or you're too cool or too quote unquote hard, especially with our cultures.
Yeah, it's all inclusive,
and everybody goes and everybody has a great time. I'm just like, wow. Like I would go to these cons like, wow, there's a lot of, and I don't mean this in a bad way. It sounds better coming from me than somebody way. Like, wow, there's a lot of black people here.
No, it's all inclusive.
You know what I mean?
Just Native Americans, I see every damn shade and size, and that's what I love. It is an all-inclusive type of event, and some of those other events can get very just bougie. You know what I mean? Just bougie, and you don't feel the vibes, and you don't feel the commonalities with people. But at ScareCon, I've never had that happen. I've always felt like I was in the right place at the right time with the right kind of people. And
I feel just with like horror fans in general, it's nobody cares about your race, your gender, your sexual orientation, nothing. They just, you like this movie? Oh, cool. You should check this one out, and that's pretty much it. Nobody cares about anything else. Like all the other stuff is not important. Nobody cares. Nobody brings it out. Nobody calls it. I don't care. And it is cool though.
But we're all scared shit. You know what I mean? But we're in a safe zone. It's so funny. I love how that is.
I just feel like it's cool to see people that look like you into this type of stuff, not just into freaking sports, music, alcohol, weed, the stereotypical stuff. I'm like, there's a lot more to it than that. Everybody's into all that, but we like horror. We love horror too.
Right. No, I agree.
And I
shit
just love
comes
that.
from the damn ScareCons too, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's so crazy how everybody just connects.
Exactly. A bunch of like-minded people, man, all there for the same type of passions.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a movie coming out that I'm going to put on your radar. It's called Jed. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I know they were supposed to be doing I had them on a couple months ago now, but they're supposed to be doing like a cast and crew filming first or screening first before they put it out. But it's the whole cast and crew is either an ally of or a part of the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
They came on the podcast a while ago. Like and this is someone that reached out to me. I don't know how they found me. They heard about me from wherever and heard about how I promote and help out. And I was like, yeah, of course, come on. And awesome, nice, really nice people. I can't wait for this freaking movie to come out. I think it's going to be great. They told me that like their budget, I think they only had like a $500 budget at one point. Somebody that was a part of that movie stole that money. They still did the movie. They're going to make a second one eventually. You know, after they get this one out, they said they're going to make a part 2 of it. And I was like, are you guys going to do an Indiegogo this time? I said, yeah. I was like, make sure you do. Let me know. I'll promote the hell out of it. And I was like, and a lot of people that I work with or contacted with will definitely check it out because they're just fans of horror. And we love looking out for the little guy as far as, the independent stuff.
Absolutely. The underdog. I like that.
And they're I'm the type, like, if you're a good person, if you're friendly, I'm going to promote it. If you promote me or not, I really don't care. If it's horror, if I've had little bad times with some people, but I'm not mad at them. I don't wish them. I don't burn bridge. I don't bash them. I don't even bring them up. I just don't promote them anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what that is? That's good karma on you. You don't need to talk bad about others.
No.
You know what I mean? Get that point across.
Like if some people bring it up, yeah, I've heard of it. It's cool, whatever. I just don't talk about it. I don't promote it. Nothing like that, which I'll tell you when we're done recording. But it's just, I don't know. It's such a fun passion of mine. I just love it, and it shows me how much I've grown from being a kid, getting pissed off at certain things, and the first thing you do is lash out and yell about it, and then being an adult, and it's like, it happens. It happens. I'm like, it's not really that serious either. They didn't disrespect me. They didn't say anything bad about me. They didn't disrespect my family, so there's really nothing to be upset about.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of people who are into horror are a lot more accepting. I think they're a lot more open to other ways.
Everything.
You know what I mean? And it does open up dimensions of mind that are extremely creative and imaginative, mm-hmm. and people that aren't exposed to that are kind of closed off, and
Yeah, you're right about that.
It comes with, being exposed to it, and I'm happy. I not necessarily when I have children will I expose my kids as early as I was exposed to horror films, but I do think it does make you a different type of rounded person, and I'm very very pleased with the people that I've met in
Me too.
this little fan club that we have going on. So it brought us together and had us have this dialogue today, and that's what it's all about, is just two people with genuine commonalities and loves and passions coming together and discussing something that I think does make this world a better place. I truly do.
It really does. And I feel horror fans seem like the most friendliest people in the world. We watch the craziest shit, but we would never do any of that. I mean...
No. We just all think about the sick shit that we wish we could do, but we won't. Like squeeze lemon juice into cuts and shit.
Yeah, that's Mild.
Like, if I was a sick person, I'd probably be like the lemon juice killer. I'd be like squeezing juice in everybody's cuts. I'm serious. That's how I would torment you. I think I'm going to come out with that. I'm going to come out with a movie now.
If I want to torment or torture people, I'll just put on Tales from the Hood 2 and leave the room. That's all you can watch for the rest of your life.
Oh.
That's how bad that movie.
That's like an easy.
Did you watch that movie?
What was that?
Did you watch that movie?
I think I've seen parts of that movie, but no, I have not watched that in full totality. I'm gonna be real with you. Nope, I have not.
Well, it is on Netflix if you do want to, punish yourself, but
ponder upon it. Yeah.
I never tell people not to watch a movie, even if I hate it. I just say for that, don't blame me if you do watch it and you don't like it, because I'm warning you. It was just.
Yeah. I'm sorry you wasted 2 hours of your lifetime.
You know what was funny too is, for some reason that morning I woke up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and put the movie on. And then, like, later on that day, I was like, you know what? Because I started falling asleep. I was like, I'm going to rewatch it. And my brother texted me, "Yo, you ready to record?" I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. We said, like, 2 nice things. I remember one thing I liked about it, we both liked about it, was the dude's jacket from the second story. And maybe, like, one other thing, which I don't remember. But it was just, there were so many misses in the movie. And I know I'm not a director and all that stuff, but there was just so much they had. Like, they're talking about the politics now. I know they did it in the old one with, like, the Trump shit. I'm like, I want to watch horror to get away from that. I don't need to hear about this nonsense now. Oh, man. It was bad. It was rough.
So I'm curious as to if radio and podcast is, like, the longevity of what you want to do, or if you actually would consider someday being behind and directing of your own, or writing your own scripts, or have you ever pondered on maybe that venture someday down the line?
I love podcasting. I have such a strong passion for it. Like, I know I don't have the patience or the talent as far as directing. I don't think. Okay. And I have so much respect for people that can do that. I wouldn't want to just go out there and do it because everybody else is doing it.
Well, I get that.
But if somebody wants a podcaster in their movie, I'd be down for that. I just want my podcast name in the movie. And you can kill me off. That's fine.
Dutifully noted. Okay. Angie doesn't mind getting killed. Okay.
Yeah. I just can't be. I can't be first dying in the movie. You gotta stop killing. Because
yeah, that's one stipulation, guys.
I feel like my black instincts would kick in. If something crazy is going on, I'm not gonna investigate it. I'm gonna get the hell out of there. It's like if your mother comes home pissed off because you did something. The first thing, you're not gonna go outside and see what she's mad about because you know you did. You know you're gonna get beat. What do? You try to get out of the way. I'm not gonna go right to the.
Tagline should be a horror film that is created. I mean, I know we make a lot of funny movies about it, but it really does need to be a horror film about a woman or a grandma coming to kick your ass with a sandal, because that shit is scary coming around the corner. And
see, with me, it was like belts and brushes, but pretty much the same damn thing. We all get it. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Wire hangers, cable cords, been there.
You know what's funny about it, though, is like I'll make jokes about these movies where, like, the killer's after you, and the people always run upstairs and hide. And you did the same thing as a kid from your parents, like hiding under the bed, hiding under the covers.
That shit happened in Milo. What did the girl do? Run up to the attic. What are you doing?
There's no way out.
That part pisses me off. It really does. I get angry and shit, but most people do when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, when she's downstairs, she goes into the basement. Now, I understand why. It's because she feels her friend. So, like, she gets curious. But, yo, you've already endured so much trauma. Like, get the hell out. Save yourself. But they never do.
Yeah, not at all.
Nope.
Not at all. And I remember the first horror movie that scared me. That I remember that scared me. It was, what the hell was it? Not Tales from the Hood. Damn it! That's the movie stuck in my damn head now. Shit. Thanks for the Ride, Lady. That Tales from
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name, but I don't know why that scared me so much. Because I go back and rewatching those stories, hilarious now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching it with, I think, a couple of my older cousins and one of my older brothers, and they would let me watch movies with. Like I was like 5, 6 years old. They would let me watch horror movies with them as long as, say, if we're at my house, don't wake up mom. If we're at my cousin's house, don't wake up aunt so and so because
Yeah.
we're all gonna get. They're gonna get in trouble for letting me watch the movie with them. I'm gonna get in trouble for waking them up. So they'd be like, okay, you can watch it with us, fine. Like, I was so scared. I had to have, I don't know which one of them it was, it might have been my brother, walk me to the bathroom, wait outside the bathroom so I can use the bathroom and come. But I came back and finished the movie. But that movie scared, Creep Show, that's what it was. Creep Show Part 2. Scared the hell out of me. And then, like, looking back at, like, I've watched it, obviously I've watched it more times than that. Like looking back at it recently, I'm just like, what the hell is so scary about this? But at the same time, your mind, as a kid, your imagination runs wild. Even though you know it's fake, it's still crazy.
No, it gets you. I remember I was scared of the Power Ranger episode where they had the clown. You that one? That shit got me. Oh my! You got to look that up. That was scary though.
Man.
And I mean, I know I'm talking to Power Rangers. I kind of just took us out, but there's different things at a kid's age. You'd be surprised. Now I can be considered a clown. I've been a clown on stilts. You know what I mean? Like, but as a kid, I mean, it was no hell no. Don't play that.
Stilts. So, see, you must not be afraid of heights being on these damn stilts.
No, I'm very petite in real life, so I feel like I kind of get the best of both worlds. If I don't get acknowledged in my everyday life, when I'm up there, you're sure as hell not going to miss me. So I really have turned it into almost, that's my superpower in a sense. And I assume my role when I'm up there. I'm there to create an energy that people won't forget and
Awesome.
Put a smile on people's faces. It's a great photo opportunity, and I always take it with great, pride and stride, and I love it. I love what I do. I'm extremely blessed.
That's so cool. Anybody that's involved in horror, whether it's like what I do with the podcasting, I like to just talk to people and see what got them into it, and just what keeps them into it. Like with me, I love the movies. I love meeting people that are into horror, and then I love doing this. The podcasting thing is just something you never thought you would do. Obviously, when we were kids, this didn't even exist.
Right.
And now I'm just, and it's funny because I remember growing up as a kid, watching horror movies with my brothers and friends and stuff. I'm like, why are you watching this shit? Why are you, go outside, wasting your time? Like, now look, I'm still doing it.
Now I'm trying to keep kids inside watching scary movies and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. We came up in a good time though. It's just I look back and I'm like, but for me, having bodegas and going and I mean, you could just it was a dream growing up. Now I'm like,
oh, it was it's crazy. It's crazy now. I remember I bought I don't remember how old we were. I know we were too old. We weren't old enough to drink, but I was old enough to buy R-rated movies. Yeah. So we just got like candies and Red Bulls, and I got the Friday the 13th when it first came out on DVD. Me and my brother lives out in Colorado, and like where we were living at the time, where my mother was living, there was a Hess literally right up the street. You can cut through our backyard and get to it.
Damn, so that's an old memory, Hess.
So I was like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run up to Hess, go there, get some candy and stuff, and he was waiting for me at the crib.
Yeah.
I guess not too long after I left, this asshole went out and hid behind a big ass tree. I'm coming back, running through the yard. He just grabbed me out of it, scared the shit out of me. I was like, yo, you're a fucking asshole. But it was hilarious. And I know if I would have thought of it and it was the other way around, I would have did the same exact thing. But it was just, oh, God.
My brother, one time, he dressed up as Michael. He had the full jumpsuit. He had the dope mask. I mean, the expensive one that looked good. You know what I mean? And he had the knife that when you stabbed, the knife went inside the handle.
Oh, so it looks like you're stabbing somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And one day, it's dark. We used to sit on this green box. I think it was like the electrical box. I lived in like townhomes at the time. And we all used to convene around this little green electrical box and sit outside of it. And I remember one time, the light was like flickering on the street. And we look down and it's like we see a dude like in Michael attire. And I'm like, am I like bugging out? And my best friend growing up, she lived 2 houses down. Her sister was petrified of Michael Myers. Petrified. Like that was her biggest feat. So when she seen Michael, her ass booked. I kind of got stuck because, you know me, I'm like a little more risque. I'm like, that ain't Michael. No.
Yep.
You know, and I'm a little more ballsy as a child. Heaven's just kind of shocked. That was my girlfriend at the time. Her sister Jen, she booked. She was gone. And I remember like my brother slowly approaching. He pulled this shit off good. I mean, he didn't run. He really stayed in character. Got so close to us. In fact, at this point, I didn't think to run in the house. I thought to book her ass up a tree. So I'm trying to get my friend up this tree. And finally, she pulls me up at the last minute. My brother swings the knife, actually knocks my sneaker off. My sneaker falls to the ground. And my brother left us up there for hours. He just, like, kind of tormented us and shit for hours. And this is real. I mean, this really happened. But I remember we did a lot of stupid shit as kids. I mean, me and my brother, he pretended to beat the shit out of me one time, and he threw ketchup on me, and my friend really thought he was hurting me, and we had it all planned out. I mean, we were sick kids. We were sick. We did a lot of sick shit. You know what I mean? All for the shits and giggles. Yep. You know what I mean? I look back, I'm like, damn, we were actually like super convincing. But kid try to pull that shit today.
Oh man,
it wouldn't have lasted. I mean, a kid probably come out with a gun and like really think it was serious. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. We had a good time growing up.
Oh yeah, because we were still we still were kids, and I remember. Actually, I wasn't even a kid then. I was probably like 19 when I did this. I tried to scare my mother and act like I got jumped.
No good. Yeah, that's not a good one.
She didn't even find it funny. My brother was dying. So I had like a little hole in my shirt. So I was like, it's an old T-shirt. I don't care. So I just decided to rip it more. And she was like, what happened to your shirt? I was walking to Hess, and these kids came running over and jumped me. And my brother was just like, he was trying to keep his composure. And she like made a face at first. Then she's like, stop lying, Aaron. Why are you? And he just started dying. I was like, all right, I did this on my own. It didn't work. Didn't get the effect I wanted at all. It was almost like she didn't even care. Like, whatever.
Oh, poor thing.
But she knows how we are. Like, if that really happened, there would have been a lot of yelling and all kinds of nonsense. And
it sounds like the rejection of not believing in you was kind of the scariest part of that story.
Yeah, like we mess with her a lot. Everybody messes. I don't know what it is. Like with my father, I never acted. Not that I acted up around my mother, but I would never talk back, joking around, nothing at all. Even to this day, my mother though, I was always messing with her, joking around me and my brothers, and we'd get beat for it. But my father though, just for stuff, I'm just like, nah, I'm not even. I wouldn't even think about doing half the stuff I did, and not like in a disrespectful way, but just little stupid, silly stuff from a kid on, even to an adult. I'll still try to annoy my mother here and there, but my father, I just feel like he'd punch me in the face or something, and just I don't know what he would do.
Dads are different. Especially with boys. But I remember growing up, I had a good guy doll. My brother had a good guy doll. And one day he actually suspended him into the shower with one of my kitchen knives. So when I went to pull back the shower curtain to go shower, sure enough, there was good guy there sitting here with my little plastic knife. And that gave me a good fright. So like I said, I mean, I really, if I look back, I have some real authentic little horror stories that I'm like, holy shit, like that really took place. That Milo thing really happened too. There was really a man in a yellow jacket riding on a bike with things in his spokes that had that same sound. And I freaked out. I mean, I lost my shit.
That's hilarious though at the same time. My uncle was telling me, this was his ex at the time, but what he did to her, he had a good guy dog because he loves Chucky. And what he did was he was making like tapping noises on his table, like Chucky's feet running on because she fell asleep on the couch on the coffee table, and then just sat Chucky down, and she woke up.
Oh my God!
That scared the shit out. I was like, yo, that's freaking hilarious. Hilarious.
People got a lot of shit to say about Chucky, but if you see his ass coming for you, I mean, I want that. I want that challenge. I want Chucky to be real. Like, I want him to step inside my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm so ready for Chucky. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. People that, like, don't see the humor in it, I feel really bad for people like that. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, this is a possessed doll. This is great.
It's funny.
This is an amazing concept. They try to do this shit with Annabelle. It doesn't work. You can't beat Chucky. I'm sorry. He's just...
What'd you think of the new one?
I don't know if I've seen the new one. The one that's, like, the Coming Home. I don't know if I've seen that one.
That was good. Not Annabelle. Sorry, Child's Play.
Oh, we talked about this.
And you didn't like it.
I'm not a fan, but here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from with the whole technology concept. You know, that is scary. Technology scares me. But the Chucky, I think they dropped the ball. Personally, I really think they dropped the ball. That's just my take.
Was it the look of them, though, that didn't... Like, I liked everything about the movie. I can see why some people might not like the look of it, but I said... Yeah, look at it as like a standalone film, because all they had the same was the title and the name of Chucky and Andy. Everything else was completely different.
Right, completely different.
But I liked it because it's like we rely on technology so much with our vehicles, our phones, like everything, to where you want... If people can have it their way, they would have your damn cell phone driving your car for doing everything. And he was pretty much they're showing you in this movie like that's not necessarily great at times.
No, like I said, the premise, the technology standpoint, I mean, that is scary. That I think a good concept. But the Chucky, I was very disappointed with his look. They could have made him more raw. I mean, look at how great he looked back in what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have made him look that scary, especially when he's getting angry. Well, especially when he's going to kill. He looked too sweet, endearing.
I know there was a lot of things that they couldn't do. Like, there were certain kills they couldn't do if it was similar to the original movie. And then, like, the look of Chucky, it couldn't look anything like him or they'd get in legal trouble. So there was a lot of things. I think that's why there's a few things that are different about it. And like I said, I really just enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. Funny. Like, this is for Tupac. I love that part. I'm like, who doesn't love Tupac? That was just freaking awesome.
Things like that is just like, I was like, are you serious? Like, it kind of upset me a bit. The second time the Tupac shit happened, though, and he was brought up, I chuckled.
Yep, when he was
the first time, I was in disbelief, though. I was like, really? Mm-hmm. He just said that shit, really? So I was a little upset. I'm gonna be honest.
It was fun though. That was actually better than I expected.
Yeah. A
lot better than I expected. Pet Sematary, the new one. Did you see that?
I did see that.
That one, I feel like they dropped the ball.
Really? I didn't mind it so much. I don't know. Once again, I'm a sucker for the classics. Me too. But I didn't mind it. Have you ever seen the Sinister series by any chance?
Love it.
I was gonna say, I think they do well. I really like.
Actually, like, out of the movies that came out in the mid to late 2000s, that's probably that and the Conjuring series are probably some of my favorite ones that came out.
Okay, cool.
And
you know what I'm thinking about?
I like the actor in that movie. What the hell is his name?
Ethan Hawke.
He was in one of my favorite movies as a kid, White Fang. So
he's great though. I mean, he's great. I mean, not even just Training Day. When he did Daybreakers, the whole vampire shit, I liked him in that.
He's good.
I do. I think he's a phenomenal actor. What I was thinking is maybe which I hope I come back on your podcast again at another time. Mm-hmm. Maybe around the holidays. So my birthday's in December. It's the first week of December, and maybe we could do like Krampus because that's like holiday, but it's
it's still holiday horror. Yep.
But there, have you seen Krampus? I thought that was a good holiday horror.
Yeah.
For family, for family wise. Like I thought I was really impressed. Did you like it?
I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. I like that. I did like that.
Gingerbread cookies, and I thought that shit was cool, and the elves, and it was just different, and I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a good one. I would do that. Like I would do any horror as long as I haven't done it already, and even then I might do it just to get a different take on it.
Yeah.
But I would do any horror movie. I'm down to do it as long as I can get my hands on it. And yeah, holiday horror. I know it seems like cliche for podcasts, but shit, it's gonna get me listened, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm definitely gonna check out Thanksgiving. I'm gonna check that out probably when I hang up with you. I'm gonna go and look into that one.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's funny. Like the first was like 30 seconds. You're gonna be like, "What the hell does he have me watching?" You're gonna laugh.
Right.
I will say that. I won't say why. I'll let you find out for yourself.
I'll figure it out. But no, yeah, I'm excited about that one. I'm trying to think if there's other ones, but Krampus is one. Maybe for the holidays, we should do a review on that.
Definitely.
It's fun.
There's another one on Amazon Prime called Mrs. Claus.
Okay.
Somebody that I'm Facebook friends with, it's their movie. I don't remember whose movie it is, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm definitely gonna check it out and do a review on it. And there's a guy that actually I'll tell you more about that when I'm done recording because I don't want to release too much stuff to people. They can't know everything. I'll do that so sometimes on the podcast, and I'm just like, damn it, I don't mind people using my ideas, but I'm like, I want to at least get it out there first. Like the green screen thing, I kept that quiet for so long until I finally got one. I'm still learning how to use it. I've done a few YouTube videos here and there, but eventually I want to incorporate that into my podcast. So I'm doing movies and interviews and all that, and I have it now. So now go ahead and use the idea if you want to, people, because I have it.
I don't have my green screen, but I do have like my forest background. I was like, it's pretty green. It's pretty green enough.
You haven't? Are you very familiar? So you're familiar with green screens then? That's good.
Oh, I mean, I was a film student, so yeah, I know my green screen. It's pretty good.
I was picking the guy earlier. His name's Tom. He's a senior this year. I don't even know what school he goes, so I should have probably asked him that. But he was giving me some pointers with the green screen too. So now I have someone else's brain to pick for something like that. That's good.
Nice. What can I know what his review was?
Of what?
Did you do a review earlier today?
Oh no, I just interviewed him.
Oh, okay.
Just because I met him at ScareCon a couple weekends ago. He was there. I think he was there with his father, and he sat in on the shoestring budget thing. And I went and talked to him, and I was like, "Hey man, email me. We could just talk. We just talk pretty much random horror. What got him into filmmaking and all that, and kind of like what his plans are. He didn't tell. He said he kind of wants to do like a slasher type eventually, but he didn't like get too deep. It's like he's still working on stuff, and he don't want to put that out there too much. I was like, yo, anytime you want to come on. Anything you need promoted, come on. Come talk horror, review a movie, and I'm just welcoming people on here, and I'm glad that people say like it's cool when people say yeah, it's funny. Like I'll send people the same message that I sent you pretty much. Hello, my name's Aaron. I'm a huge horror fan. Here's my podcast. I'd love for you to listen to it if you ever want to be on. Blah blah blah. Right. Some people just ignore it, or I'll forget I sent it to people. Some people I probably send it to them 2 or 3 times. I just send it and then delete, send it and then delete. And sometimes people hit me up like weeks later. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I hit this person. I forgot I hit this person up. I've had a couple say no, but I don't like that. I don't let that bother me. I don't.
No, and you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. And like I had rest in peace, Steve Dash. I reached out to him and he said no. He said I just don't do interviews. I was like, cool, that's fine.
Right.
You're still awesome in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But some people get offended by the word no, or they're afraid to ask because they're afraid they'll be told no. And I'm just like, that's fine. Some people may not want to work with me because I'm not that big yet. And once I get there, if they want to work with me then, cool. But like I was telling the guy Tom earlier, I was like, for those people, yes, I will work with you. But the people that say yes right away are going to be the ones that are always first in line.
Of course.
And then,
Loyalty goes a long way. Loyalty goes a long way. And you got to start somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said, I commend just even you telling me, I've been doing this for 2 years. I've done about 88 podcasts. You know what I mean? Like, you're up and coming. And I just know, just keep pushing this. Keep,
Oh, I'm gonna.
It'll become something prosperous for you. So,
And I have, and this is nothing to people I have no network backing me at all. Like, it's just me. I mean, let me rephrase that. It's me and everybody that I've worked with on this podcast from episode 1 till now. But, I mean, as far as, if you have a network, you have that network where other podcasts are like, look, these podcasts are on network, this, that, and the third. And I'm just, one, I haven't had the opportunity to join a network. And 2, my biggest fear is there was a network, which I'm not going to mention, that a couple podcasts were on or were going to working with, but the guy who owned the network or whatever was pretty much saying he owned a part of their podcast, and
he'll turn you into something you're not.
And then he wouldn't let them. He would only let them work within the network, and anything that they posted would have to tag him in the network. And even if he wasn't making any of these connections, so they eventually left with him. And I'm like, for one, that's not going to happen. But I've heard of other good networks that are just, it's pretty much you. It's just you're getting you're just helping you got to promote these guys. They promote you type of deal. That I'll do. But if you're going to change something or act like you own something of mine, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
You're doing it the right way. You're doing it on your own. Stay authentic. You know what I mean? Don't feed into the jargon, because that shit gets old real quick, and then a lot of people lose the respect. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they started from a humble place, but then they go off the damn bandwagon and they drink the juice.
Yeah.
So I really admire your appreciate your you know what I mean? Just being humble and just knowing where you come from and not feeling like you have to, jump into the trends. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I just
keep it real, because that's why you were brought into this to begin with. It's just real, genuine people just having a passion and a commonality, like I said. And I mean, I'm grateful for us. Now we have this network, and I know you're going to do big things. I'm super excited for your future.
I hope so. And I like my.
You will. You got to speak your manifestations.
Oh, I do.
You
I
will.
definitely do. But I do. But then I also think like if I never did anything with this as far as financially and all that, I would still keep doing it. Like I didn't get into podcasting and doing this to make money. I got into it to talk about horror and network and just have a good time. And then I tell my younger brother this because he's my producer. He's been making beats he's 30 now, probably for about 15, 20 years.
Is he? Oh, he might be the plug. You see the plug? Any R&B? Any R&B?
He probably could. He could make it. He can make whatever.
Let me know. Let me know.
Because he used to rap. I don't know if he does as much anymore. Him and my cousins. I don't know if they do as much anymore, but he still does beats. He did my intro. If you listen to the podcast, he did my intro for this. Then on my YouTube channel, he did the intro for that. That was originally the intro for this, but I made it for my YouTube channel, and he produces my episodes now. So like after this, I'll send it to him. He'll mix it. Whatever he does on his end, I don't know how to do. He'll do it. And I told him, I was like, yo, if there's ever a day where I blow up,
you won, bro.
Keeping it in the family, like both.
Of course.
That's why I would never work. As far as that goes, I don't even care if it was a big name producer with networking and podcasting. I'd be like, no, my brother's my producer. Simple as that. Even if I have to tell him 1,000 times, yo, I need this episode. He's
right,
still.
I'm all about the grassroots.
Yeah.
Keep it home, keeping it close.
You have to. You have. Some people forget that, and I mean, I get it. Sometimes you have a phone up, but some people forget that. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
I'd quit the podcast before anything.
I think why I've stayed in entertainment as long as I have is because I've just always managed to present myself in the right ways, meet the right kind of people, stay true to myself. I've had a lot of opportunities that I have turned away because it just didn't fit well with my soul. You know what I mean? Like what I'm supposed to do. At one time, all I wanted was fame and fortune, to be honest. I mean, who doesn't? You grow up, and growing up, I seen MTV. I wanted to be in the limelight, and then I took a different path. And I said, I want to help people. I want to motivate people. And that's where the motivational speaking came and stuff like that. So now that's my passion, giving back. And I think with your podcast, that's what you do. You give people a place to come and express themselves, and it's a platform that's safe. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm excited.
Oh, anytime. And I mean this. Anybody that's been on here and that enjoys coming on here, just shoot me an email when you want to come on again. Then we'll work something out. I really enjoy it.
And vice versa. And I'm going to talk to my girl Lauren. I'm going to know why she hasn't responded, but she's a busy person.
I was going to say that could be a thing too. She could just be busy. Because she didn't say no.
This past month has been hiatus for her. So I'm sure just coming up with all those concepts and things like that, but I think she would be another amazing person to network with you and be on your show.
I would love that. And I'm just going to keep throwing that olive branch out there. Anybody wants to come on, come on. Again, you could be a horror podcaster and you just want to come on and promote your podcast. Just come on here and talk about some horror, then promote whatever the hell you want.
Real. True statement.
Some people don't want people doing that, though, which I'll never understand. Like, it's funny, and then I'm sure you see this online. I see it all the time. The stupid, what the hell is it? So-and-so, like, the Kardashians do this, and this. But you'll share this post, but you won't share your friend's post. And I'm like, you guys are sharing the post, but I'll joke around, I'll be like, look, I have a podcast. Just hit share for this. I don't give a shit if you listen to it or not. Just hit share.
Right.
And then one of my stepdaughter's friends, this was such a humbling moment for me. She heard about my podcast, the Horror Research Study podcast. She didn't know that I was the one doing it.
Wow.
And so I don't know how she finally figured it out. Because like she would see she's seen the group and she see my wife posting in the group all the time. And my stepdaughter here and there. And I guess she just never put two and two together. So then when she finally found that out, I was just like, yeah. It was humbling because she was like, this is one of my favorite ones. I've listened to it. I listen to it all the time. And I didn't even know this. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
That's me. Look how proud. That's so sweet.
It is.
That's a beautiful thing.
It really is. And it's like, that stuff like that means more to me than say like if somebody big, like a big name person, was like, "Hey, your podcast is great," and checking it out, because it's somebody that's from my town, like in my city, that's listening to it. I'm not gonna say I obviously have met her before.
They're very honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very honest. Their perspectives are innocent and
well, no, she's like, how old is she? They're in their 20s, but still.
Oh wow, cool yeah. Though.
But still though, like it's.
Gonna pick up on your voice?
I guess not. You know what it is though. I haven't like I've talked to her, you know, and she has a 2-year-old son. Like sometimes my stepdaughter will watch her, or sometimes my wife will watch him, and just kind of hang out. And they'll go and go hang out or whatever, and come home. And like she's like my adopted daughter, pretty much. That's what she calls us. She calls my wife, she calls our adopted parents and stuff. She's a big horror fan though. I'm like, that's cool. And she just graduated from, I don't know what school it was, but for massaging, and she's talking about opening like her own thing. I was like, when you do, let me know. I'll definitely promote it on here. And she was like, I'll hand out business cards in my shop. I was like, well, boom.
Awesome.
Stuff like that. Like I just really like doing stuff like that for anybody, really, because it's easy, it's free.
Well, putting people on the map is definitely gonna what puts you on the map.
And it's just, I just feel like it's the right thing to do. Like I don't do it. I don't promote people, like I said before, say for you, for example. I wouldn't promote you because I'm expecting you to do the same. I just do it because I'm like, hey, this was a cool person that came on my podcast. That's doing me a favor.
Right.
Go check their circles. Go check their workout. Go listen to them, whatever. And eventually it'll pay off one way or another. If it's getting a bunch of downloads, that's cool. If it's getting a bunch of money, that's amazing.
So when you post these live, I mean, people comment on them and everything like that? Are we going to get some hater mail?
I wish.
Well, remember, even, bad publicity is still good publicity.
Yeah,
so let them talk. Let them talk.
I don't really get, like when I do post it and all that, I don't really get, like, people download and stuff. I don't really get too many comments here and there. I will on the actual Podbean page, but it's never anything negative, and
awesome.
Which is great. I mean, if you have something negative to say about the podcast, obviously go right ahead. If it's constructive criticism, fine. If you don't like it, fine. Either way, I'm not one of those people who, which I've noticed with a lot of famous people, when people are listening to like other podcasts and radio and all this stuff, you tweet them something negative and they go after that. So people think, okay, well, to get that attention, to go after it. I'm not going to even pay any mind to it. Right. I won't read it. I mean, I'll scroll through, like if I see it, I'll scroll, oh yeah, this episode sucked. Okay, cool. I'm not going to go attack that person. That's your own opinion. If you're being a troll or if that's your own, that's fine. But if someone's like, I love this.
Maturity, though. That's maturity. I think critique is very important, but a lot of people were learning and think they have no spine. You know what I mean? They're soft in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have to learn. It's not, don't take things so personal. You know what I mean? It's what's the fun in that if you take everything so hard? It's
I can't. It's too much. And I'm I would look like an asshole taking it to heart, like being all upset about it because I review movies. There's movies that I talk shit about. So for me to say you put
yourself in like in a vulnerable position already to begin with. You're on a podcast and you're vulnerable to be attacked, but
I don't. All that internet, Twitter, tweeting, not Twitter, but the keyboard warriors. That doesn't faze me. I love it. I haven't had to deal with anything yet, but I'm more like a face-to-face type thing. Like if it's a real issue. You know what I mean? That's different. I'm not gonna come looking for you because you said something on the internet. I'm not 15 anymore. Yeah. If the internet was out when we were kids, I'd probably fought a lot more over some stupid ass shit.
We were the keyboard warriors probably back then.
Yeah. But now I'm just like it's all fun. It's all you're talking about. I look at good or bad. You're talking about me. Someone's gonna say this podcast sucks. Someone's gonna go check it out. Same thing. Someone's gonna say it's great. Someone's gonna go check it out. So hey. I really don't care either way. Just keep telling people about it. I say tell your friends, your family, your enemies, co-workers, anybody. Just tell them to check out the podcast. That's it. And hey, if they like it, cool. If they don't, that's fine too. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, right or wrong.
I couldn't agree more.
I did not bash Nicolas Cage on this episode, which I'm proud of myself.
Shit, I was about to if you didn't.
He's coming out with another freaking horror movie.
Something in the water though, like why? It's funny that you say that because I kind of feel the same way. Like, I don't care that he's the Wicker Man. Trash. It's the kind of like Ben Affleck for me. Like, I'm sorry to love him, but that boy got to go. You know what I mean? Like, he is. I don't know.
Everybody has somebody. Like, me is Nicolas Cage. My brother is Corey Feldman. And Corey Feldman played in a lot of his favorite movies, but he just can't stand them. And what makes it funny with him is, like, we'll talk about it, and I would say, like, what don't you like? Like, why don't you like him? Blah, blah, blah. And he would say, it's personal. You wouldn't understand, or I can't tell you. And it's just funny because, well, he's not my blood brother. I've known him since second grade. But it's just funny how we make jokes about it.
Right.
And then I was like, one day I either call him or text him and apologize. Like, yo, I finally understand what you mean. I was like, Nicolas Cage is that one for me. I just cannot. I only like him in like 2 movies that I've seen. I haven't watched a ton of his movies. I liked him in Gone in 60 Seconds. That's because of Cars and Women, and Face Off. And that's probably because of John Travolta.
I was like, boy, if you say Ghost Rider is some shit, I'm turning this shit off right now.
I didn't watch it. And there's another movie my brother keeps telling me to watch. I don't remember what it's called. He said it's actually a good movie with Nicolas Cage in it, but I just refuse to watch it because I just feel like, and it might be a great movie, but just because I don't like him,
it's hard to see him.
Yeah,
him to be an actor.
I do. I did an episode with these guys. Their shop is called the Nightmare Shop. They live out in St. Louis. Greg and John, 2 of my guys. But they know how I feel about Nicolas Cage. So these assholes, which I love them, were like, yo, let's do the movie Mandy. Because...
Wow.
And I did say some nice things about Nicolas Cage. I said he had a cool shirt on, but... I just seen the other day that he's
That was like pushing, right? Like you were pushing just to be sweet.
No, the shirt was really cool. It was like a tiger on it or something. But like he's doing another horror movie, and people that have been on the podcast, especially like people that have been on multiple times, like the Nightmare Shop, they're going to want to review that movie. I already know it. And
wait, is this recent? He's doing recently he's going to be doing a horror movie?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I forgot what it's called, but I made a post about it in my group. I was like, look at this. I tagged a few people that know about the Nicolas Cage jokes I have. I was like, he's trying to ruin my life.
Oh, sure.
And we've never met. We're probably never going to meet. It would be so hilarious if we met and just started fist fighting out of nowhere, though. Like Peter and the chicken.
Yes.
That would be hilarious. And then just left like nothing happened.
A duel. You got to.
I don't know.
He's like, nah, seriously.
And I don't wish any ill will on him, obviously, but
of course not.
I don't like his acting, and I feel like the way he acts is the way he is in real life, and that's why I don't think we would really click too well.
Pompous.
At all. He's always yelling. Every movie, he just finds a reason to just scream for no damn reason.
Yeah, he has an underlying arrogance about him. He really does. And he's hated by a lot of people. This isn't just like your opinion. This is like a mass-wide opinion.
I really feel like what he does is he'll read the script, goes to, when they go to record, and he just does his own thing. Doesn't follow lines or nothing. People just kind of go along with it. I could be wrong. They're like, all right, you know what, Nick, you write what you want to do, and we'll incorporate that.
Yeah. And
somehow he always finds a reason to scream, and I wish he would stop. I just wish he would just retire and do something else. Come on here.
Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, no, I was going to say, he can even come on here and record with me. I'll try to have a cordial conversation with him. I don't know how well. It would be funny, at least. But
it'd be entertaining.
But if he starts yelling, I'm just going to have to cut him off. I'm like,
he definitely yell. Well, you have to anticipate that, because that dude's going to yell. He's a monotone type of actor. He's going to...
Yeah, that's why we'd have to have me and you were doing this through Skype. Me and him couldn't do that in person, because if he starts yelling, I'm just going to push him out the chair or something. Like, yo, knock it off, Nick. This isn't one of your bad movies.
Winner takes shirt. You know what I mean? Winner takes tiger shirt.
There you go. That tiger shirt was cool. Really
have you
cool.
ever, I was curious if you've ever seen the new Escape Room.
No, but I want to.
Watch it. That one was good, and I'd really like to know what your thoughts are on that.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check that out. It's a good one. I enjoyed it thoroughly. But that's like becoming the new psychological thriller. You know what I mean? Like, that shit really plays with your mind, So that's a good one. Check it out, for sure.
I will. I definitely will. I gotta start watching movies more. Like, I'm always so damn busy. Work takes up so much friggin' time. So
I hear you.
And it's...
We need to live here in the ATL, so... I hear you, but I'm like, once again, I'm just so happy that you asked me and you've taken the time out of your busy schedule and we're accommodating around my busy schedule to put this together, and I might have over spoke myself. We're going on almost 2 hours.
Oh no, this is
definitely
good.
have a lot of material to work with. Your brother might be pissed off because he's gonna have to edit and help produce or whatever.
You know what's funny, and I do this purposely. I tell him, don't cut anything out. There's been times where I had him cut something out like here and there, but nothing like serious because I want it to be like a genuine conversation. I don't want it to be edited and cleaned up. Nah, screw that. The only time he might chop, like if there's a big pause, like the dead air, that's different. But other than that, no, I don't cut anything out. He just mixes it down, puts the intro in, puts the outro, and I don't know what the hell he does. But whatever he does, he knows what he's doing.
I can't wait to see it. I mean, I know I'm here presently listening, and it's me and you right now, but it'll be cool to at a later time look back on this and
listen, same here, because this is me listening to it, talking about it, and then I don't go back and listen until he sends. Like I don't even listen to it to check for anything that needs to be cut. If something needs to be cut, I remember it. I'll send it to him, and when he sends it back, and when I put it out, like when I put it out and download is when I actually listen to it. So I'll go back and listen. I listen to like out of the 80-something episodes I put out, I probably listen to all of them except for like 4 or 5, which are downloaded. And a lot of podcasters don't do that, but I know a lot of podcasters also do their own production or whatever, so they listen to it as they're producing. Me, I'm like, I got to go back and listen. And there's times I go back and I'm like, holy shit, what the hell were we talking about? It'd be hilarious, but it's cool. And then it gives me pointers. Like I love listening to my show and other shows because it gives me okay, this is something I can work on with my show. Or when I'm listening back, okay, this interview was so good, conversation flowed, it was funny. I got to keep this energy. And believe it or not, the crazy, like when I do interviews with like say an indie director, indie actor or actress, I didn't mean to say little, I don't really look up what they've done. I'll look it up bits and pieces, but I rather them come on and just have a genuine conversation about horror, and then
of course,
once they bring out what they want to promote, I don't want to sit here and look up like, okay, well, you did this movie Sharknado Part 6 and you were in the Terminator 7 and I don't like doing that because then it's just you hear me clicking the damn mouse and all that and looking up.
Yeah.
And
it's not a fluid transaction. It needs to be fluid and sound fluid, and like I said, authenticity is a big thing with me, and I think that's when you get the best products.
Mm-hmm.
You mean is when you're just your authentic self. I try to keep it as real as possible. I hope people can relate to my personal struggles and stories that I said. But it's raw. I mean, it's my experiences. Take it or leave it. But I know that you got a little bit a piece of me today.
Yeah.
And I feel like I received a lot from you today.
It's so cool because you learn so much from people just from doing this. I'm starting to learn that more and more. Like I told you, the film director earlier that I had in school, it was cool. And one thing that I like when people reach out to me that I haven't reached out to because they've heard of me from somewhere and want to be on the podcast, want me to either to do a movie or for me to review their movie. And I'm like, that's humbling. I'm like, I don't know where hey, where'd you hear about me? Oh, I heard about you from. They won't necessarily always remember, but I've heard about you. I listened to your podcast, or I've heard about you. Someone's listened to your podcast. I downloaded it. I checked it out, and you seem like you're a nice person. You really enjoy it, and I'm just like, that's rewarding to be like that. So I'm saying I got to keep doing it.
It is for sure, and I like I said, I can't wait to be back on the podcast again at a later time, and if I'm ever a part of something, I'll definitely let you know about it because I would love your support on it.
Oh, definitely.
And, we'll keep this relationship going.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm as many as I can get, and I also actually I'll tell you about that when we're done recording because I was gonna say I can tell you about it, but I'll ask you more stuff after. The guys I was telling you about from the Nightmare Shop, I had them send me business cards for ScareCon last October, this past October, and I still have some left for the next con, and they do cons out there in St. Louis, and they do like other stuff. I sent them business cards, and I actually got the idea from somebody on like a Facebook group or something. But they were charging people, and I don't think they had like a table. They were just like, I think it was like $5 a day, $15 for the weekend, and I'll hand out your business cards. But I'm like, I'm going to this con. I'm getting a table. Let me just hit up some people that I'm cool with. Yo, send me some business cards. All I ask is I can send you some in return one day. That's it. Like that stuff like that is just a good way to network. I don't look at it for a dollar amount. Because first of all, I'm not that damn famous. Now, if I was somebody like Kane Hodder, That might be a little bit different. But then again, still, if it's someone that I'm cool with and genuine people, just throw it on the table. I had another friend, my friend Matt, who's on here a lot. He has a podcast. Oh, what the hell is it called? I forgot what it's called. Matt, I'm sorry. He has a YouTube channel, though, called You and Your Horror Movies, where it's just him, and he'll review movies of the month that he's watched, or movies periodically that he's watched throughout the month. I had him bring some business cards to my table and all. Like, I try to help everybody grow as much as I can. Simple as handing out a business card for people. Put it on my table, cool. So if you have any, if your friends have any that are into horror, let me know, and we can work something out.
I really appreciate that, and I will keep supporting your podcast. I think what you're doing is amazing, and once again, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. And I mean that anytime. I mean, you'll have to put up with some of my co-hosts at times, but which can be nuts. Oh man, thanks for coming on, though. I really do appreciate it, and I wish you the best luck in all your activities and expeditions and whatever else you're gonna be doing. I can't think of any other words.
All my endeavors, for
there
sure.
You go. Yeah, I don't have that big vocabulary like T.I.
Oh.
I wish he was sitting next to me right now, just saying it like T.I. All right, say this. What do I need to say, T.I.? Boom. Thank you. Expeditiously.
He's come a long way. He's come a long way.
He has.
I'm happy to be in his city, though. If I ever see him, man, I'm gonna plug him into your podcast.
Yeah, see, with him using all them damn, I'm like, yo, T.I., I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you gotta break this down, man. I'm not reading a dictionary to talk to you. Just break it down. I have no idea what expeditiously means. I know about the word because of you. Now I gotta look it up. Sounds cool. But wow, that was a fun ass show. Thank you again. Seriously though, thank you again for coming on. We definitely gotta do this again.
For sure, anytime. Let me know.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, I feel like I kind of been doing it throughout the podcast, but the only other thing is I work for Hotworks at the moment, and Hotworks is revolutionizing the way you sweat and feel after a 3-dimensional workout. So I am big in the fitness right now. That's what I'm really pushing. People just healing internally. Hotworks, Peachtree City. Come and see us. Pretty much.
Go. That's awesome, man. You gotta be healthy to watch horror.
Yep.
So, as always, thanks for listening. For everybody that's gonna listen to this episode, you should know where to find me if you're listening to this, but if not, I'm on iTunes, Podbean, what the hell is this? Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Stitcher, and a bunch of other platforms. Check out my Facebook group, my Facebook page, Horror with Sir Sturdy. If you ever want to be on the podcast, shoot me an email, horrorwithsir.sturdy@gmail.com. And as always, I'll see you in your nightmare.